Hello everyone, I'm Aaron, helping musicians get better, faster, and let's talk about the Florida Middle School All-State Audition, Trombone Euphonium for 2023. Now, first thing is first, both etudes come out of the Rubank Advanced Method. If you don't already have a copy of this book, I'll have an affiliate link in the description down below. Now, because they're both duets, they can kind of be hard to read, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of do a cut and splice and make a PDF with both etudes just being in one line and on one piece of paper. Now, I haven't been able to do that yet as of filming this video, so be on the lookout for it if you're really early to this video. Once you see a link in the description down below, that means it's up there. That means it's on the website. Okay, now that that is out of the way, let's get into the etudes. So, technical, here are some things that I think judges are going to really be listening for. One of the big things that this etude shows off is your ability to accent without losing your characteristic sound or changing your dynamics too dramatically. So anytime there's an accent, be ready to go after it, but not to a point where it's going to create an uncharacteristic sound. This etude not only shows off the player's ability to change dynamics suddenly and drastically, but also their ability to gradually crescendo. So make sure you're prepared to go from forte to piano and everything that it's asking you to do, but also to be able to do that gradual crescendo there at the end without losing your characteristic sound. Also with that crescendo at the end, you're going to about forte, don't overdo it. And the last thing I think that they're really going to be listening for are the 3/16ths with the 16th rest and making sure they don't sound triplety, but they're also not crushed either. So don't think just fast notes for the sake of fast, but think 3/16th notes in time. Da 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 da, not da 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 da, right? It's not super fast, right? We want to make sure that we're playing the correct rhythm. I highly suggest practicing slow and with a metronome on, maybe subdividing 16th notes to make sure that you're getting that rhythm exactly right. Other than that, the etude's kind of self-explanatory. The only other thing I would be worried about is people trying to take it too fast. FBA gives us a suggested tempo. Let's make sure we stick to it. Now, moving on to the lyrical, in my opinion, this is the harder of the two. We have all of those hairpin dynamics that we want to do, but we want to do within context while still staying nice and pretty with our sound. So don't feel like you have to flare too much with them, but when you land on the big beat 2, that should be the loudest those are. Dee, 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 dee. Right? It should move up and down, kind of like a wave hitting the ocean. It shouldn't hit us in the face. But just like the other etude, we have those waves in the context of piano, and we have those waves in the context of mezzo forte. So the next thing I think that a lot of judges are going to be listening for is being able to do that with control in piano, but also being able to do that with control in mezzo forte. So what I would suggest is bringing piano up just a little bit and not crescendoing too much in the hairpin dynamics, just a little bit of a flare. So that way mezzo forte can be just a little bit stronger, but you can really show off the differences between the two dynamics. The next thing I'm really going to listen for on this one is making sure that the slurs inside of here are really clean, especially if I was a trombone judge with a lot of those G, B, D slurs. I'm going to listen for how clean those are and if they sound like natural slurs or not. I think it would be the mark of a really mature middle school trombone player to be doing some alternate slide positions like D in fourth position while still in tune. That would show off that player's abilities a little bit and kind of make me consider them a little bit higher than somebody who might be moving the slide around a little bit more. Another tip I have is be careful about slamming on the brakes at the rallentando at the end. Make sure that rallentando is nice and even and makes sense so that one, it doesn't feel, sudden, but also two, that way it doesn't leave that long dotted quarter tied to a quarter. It doesn't make that have to last an eternity. And my final tip is just really make sure you're playing this one with the tuner. This is so arpeggiated and it is also super exposed, like you're sitting on notes for a real long time. So there's enough time for judges to really know if you are or are not in tune. So just make sure you're paying attention to that as you practice. Make sure you have your tuner on, maybe playing with some drones, droning out A or maybe some C, just to really make sure you know where you're at, or droning out the note that you think might be out of tune, just to help you with it. But anyway, that's what I think judges are going to be listening for inside of these two etudes. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty straightforward audition. Now, on top of these etudes, make sure that you have your scales ready to go and make sure that you know about some of the differences if you've auditioned before, some of the changes they've made to the scales. I'm not going to go over it in this video, but I will go over it in another just general All-State audition tips video later on, once I get all of the recordings done for all of the etudes for low brass for All-State. But if you've made it this far in the video and you found this helpful, please hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. I always put out more tips and reviews and things like that that can help you, so really appreciate it. It helps out the channel big time. Good luck on your All-State audition and good luck preparing for it. And again, I'm Aaron. Be happy, never satisfied. I'll see you at the next one.